Objective advanced factoring or factorception. Directions: factor each polynomial completely. All right, when you do see advanced factoring, remember this is going to be when we factor something, then we'll open up a new factoring problem. And the biggest three letters I'm going to put on this one would be GCF. We're going to look for the GCF first, and then after we do that, it will open up a whole new factoring problem for us to be able to solve. So in this first one, even though there are three parts, we're going to look for what number would go into 5 and 40 and 80. That would be 5. And then the next thing that we're going to look for is my x's. I have an x to the third, an x to the second, and an x to the 1. So I'm going to pick the x to the 1. We'll divide all three terms by 5x. And when I do that, 5 divided by 5 is 1. X to the second minus 40 divided by 5 will be 8x. And then plus 80 divided by 5 is 16. All right, now from here, what we've done, we've opened up a new factoring problem because this is a quadratic trinomial, and when we have a quadratic trinomial, we get to put our two sets of parentheses in x, and then we'll take our 1 times our 16, and then we'll think what times what would give me 16. I've got 4 times 4, 8 times 2, negative 4 times negative 4, negative 8 times negative 2. And if you look at what I want to end up getting, negative 8. So I am going to choose negative 4 and negative 4 because negative 4 plus negative 4 is negative 8. So minus 4 minus 4. And don't forget the 5x has to tag along. So this is my answer. But remember, if you'd like your bonus point, since x minus 4, it's x minus 4 times x minus 4, we can rewrite it as x minus 4 squared. Alrighty, number 20, 5x to the 4 minus 125x squared. Since this is an advanced factoring problem, we are always going to start with the GCF first. So what number would go into 5 and 125? That would be 5. And then I've got an x to the fourth and an x to the second. The smaller of those two would be x to the second. So I'm going to factor out a 5x to the second from each term. 5 divided by 5 is 1. X to the fourth over x squared is x squared, minus 125 divided by 5 is 25. And my x's cancel out because they're the same. All right, what that did for us, it opened up a new problem. And I noticed that this is a quadratic binomial, and I can take the square root of 25. So that will make this become x plus 5, x minus 5. We just square root the 25. And now we're just going to carry down the 5x squared. And then that would be my answer. All right, the code letter for this video is O. All right, this one, it looks like we can just jump right into the problem, but because of the section that it's in the advanced factoring section, I know I have to do GCF first. So what number would go into 9 and 12 and 12? That would be 3. So we'll divide every part by 3. And when we do that, I'm going to get 3x squared plus 4x minus 4. Okay, now we're going to, since this is a quadratic trinomial, we do get to put two sets of parentheses. Instead of just putting x, we'll put 3x and 3x. I know before I'm done, I need to divide out a 3. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, and I'm just going to be thinking to myself, what times what would give me negative 12? Negative 4 times 3, negative 3 times 4, negative 6 times 2, negative 2 times 6. I would like to get a positive 4 in the middle, and I notice that negative 2 plus 6 is 4. So minus 2 plus 6, I'm going to divide that 3 out of that second binomial, so I'll get 3x minus 2. If I divide both of those terms by 3, I'll get x plus 2, and then don't forget that 3 does tag along to my final answer. So that would be my final answer on that problem.